It's nice to get a couple minutes to come and sit and look at what's not getting done. Yeah, I can't even move it out of the shop unless I get some paint on it and some tires under it. More fun. They even got those things painted yet. The only thing I get in here for is grab a handful of tools once in a while and go do something else. I ain't into getting political on here. I kind of decided that was going to be a rule when I started, was to not be political on here. Well, I don't care who you vote for, that's up to you. I just hope whoever you vote for doesn't screw me. Being in the great state of Oregon, where the biggest city in the state controls the whole state, has for many decades. There's 37 counties in the state. 36 counties can vote 99% for one thing, and the one county can vote 80% against it. Guess what? Doesn't matter what the 36 counties wanted. The one county gets it, all because of the one city. Eastern Oregon in the mid-'80s tried to get away from it. They tried it again here another, 10, 15 years ago. But in order to split a state and make two out of it, it requires a vote of the whole state. Once again, 36 counties voted unanimously to let it happen. One county, specifically one city in that county, said no. Guess what? It's still one state. It always will be, because there's no way in hell they're going to get it split off. This brings me to our current governor. We're a two-term state. At one point, it was 2 consecutive 2-year terms, but the 2 different governors that swapped back and forth before the current one somehow changed something where all of a sudden it was a 4-year term. Still don't know how that happened. Didn't go in front of the people. Nothing was said about it on the news. Nothing anywhere about it, but it's a 4-year. 2 consecutive 4 years. Our current governor was Secretary of State. She got to be governor because of a scandal with the one right before her at the last election. Had she done her job as Secretary of State at the time, he never would have been on the ballot, and that wouldn't have been an issue. But instead, personally, along with a lot of other people that believe the same as I, it was all set up. She was groomed to take over governorship. Of course, the one city put the one governor right back in place again. And him and the other guy that tag teamed it, they would each do 2 terms and back and forth. So this went on for literally years. Well, he never got to even get sworn in. Instead, the Secretary of State was appointed and sworn in to governorship. Served full term, ran for governor, got voted in. Served full term, ran again, which in my eyes was illegal. Currently, yes, guess what? Still our governor. Has been actively campaigning for money to run again. This is her 3rd term in a row there. What did she mess with? I have no idea. What I do know is cap and trade, carbon tax bullshit, if you've heard of it. Last year it was House Bill 2020. Some of you have seen in videos the back window on my pickup. It still says no on HB 2020. I don't recall what it is they're calling it now, but it's the exact same thing brought back. House Bill 2020, so that it did not pass, the Republican left the state. so they could not get a quorum to vote. Our governor threatened to have them all arrested and thrown in jail, sent the state police after them, and the state police kind of laughed and says, they're out of state, we can't do anything. They didn't want to do it anyway. Here about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, same thing going on again. I don't know if they're still out of state or not, but this time not only the Republicans, but 3 or 4 of the Democrats also left the state. Now, doesn't that tell you there's something wrong? They're standing up for their constituents. They have the support of 36 counties of the whole state. Figure it out, people. Our governor, she's kind of like President Obama was, talks about executive action, using her executive powers. News conference the other night, guess what? She's going to shove this stuff down our throat anyway with her executive powers. In said news conference, she says she doesn't care what we want. This gets better, people. Let's go for some history here. A few years ago, half the state was on fire. Most of the wheat crop is in central and eastern Oregon, as far as acres. Western Oregon is a lot more bushels per acre, we'll put it that way, like at least twice. But Western Oregon is more into grass seed and small seeds and whatever else. Therefore, most of our wheat crop is in Eastern Oregon. It's burning. What are the farmers doing? Let me see. They got tractors and discs out trying to cut fire line. They've got their sprayers out. They've got their water tankers out. They're putting fire out. Where there's areas that's forestry, what are the loggers doing? They're putting fire out. What's our governor say on national news? Oh, it's just farmland. It doesn't mean anything. It's just recreation is the only thing that counts in our state. This broad has never bothered to look at how much money comes through this state and where it is and where it's from. Even though we have high tech here, even in our county, which is one of the smallest counties in the state, we have the biggest high tech outfit in the freaking country, probably in the world. They bow down to them, but they still don't have the most money in the county. Agriculture and forestry still beats it. I don't understand where the common sense has gone, folks. Sorry, I just had to rant on this because it's really, frankly, pissing me off. Not only because we run older equipment that, hey, it don't smoke much. I'm not going to say it doesn't smoke because, yes, put it under a load. Yes, when it's due for an oil change. Yes, the John Deere tractor we feed with smokes. It's not worth putting the money to a rebuild. For what it does its job every day. She expects everybody to have 2016 and newer equipment, period. I figured this up last year. Currently, before she does something stupid, we have approximately $1 million worth of used equipment. Keep in mind, that's used equipment. Most things here with an engine on them are, say, from like 1993 back to 1962. Most of them are middle 80s. In order to replace every single piece of equipment here with an engine in it to 2016 and newer standards, that means you're buying almost new or brand new. In most cases, you're better off buying new because it just works out better usually in the long run once you're that new. I don't have $9.5 million to spend on new equipment. Barely got the money to keep what we got running. And she wants me to buy all new equipment. Oh, but wait a minute, because she doesn't care about agriculture. She's already publicly stated that the state does not need agriculture, nor does she want agriculture in the state. Just little things that gripe me. And yeah, I thought about showing you my face for this one, but you probably don't want to see it. You really don't. So, hey, that being said, it's the 7th of March. Woohoo. We've got an inch of rain in the last couple days. Just one more thing to keep us out of the fields. Just one more struggle. The stuff going on with our state government. It's been, I don't know, must have been 5 or 6 different times now that the loggers and the farmers have rallied together, and trucking companies, and sent trucks and tractors and everything else to surround the state capitol to say, hey, enough. A few weeks ago, I heard that one of the big rallies they had at the state capitol, the sheer number of people and numbers of trucks and equipment that were there is supposed to be world record. Guinness Book of World Records supposed to be looking into it. This is what I've heard. I haven't seen anything, saying that yes, that did happen, but it's supposed to be being checked out. One day, people are rallying, trucks are driving in a big circle around the big marble house with the big gold statue on it. And what do trucks do when they're doing stuff like that? They honk their horns. Well, apparently our governor decided that they couldn't have anything, couldn't do anything at all, because all the noise they couldn't hear inside the building. I'm sorry, 3-foot thick marble walls, and you're in a room in the middle of the building to do all this stuff? You're telling me that what's at least 100 feet away from the building outside is affecting it that bad? So anyway, like I say, at the moment, I don't know where our senators are, if they're in the state or out of the state. Just to the best of my knowledge, they're not back to work, which once again, we get that one city in that one county. Those people are bitching that our tax money is being wasted because those people are on vacation. Last time they skipped out, they didn't take a paycheck for doing their job, and they were actually doing their job. I'm sorry, they are trying to represent me the best way they can, because our governor does not want to represent 99.9% of the area of our state. She only wants to represent the 1% of the area of our state. And I'm sorry, she's done a shitty job of it since day one. Anyway, that's my rant for today. Sorry about getting political. It is what it is. One reason I chose not to go political on my channel at all is it's not like it used to be when Republicans and Democrats and whatever else could all shake hands at the end of the day. Instead, you got them having a total shit fit and a temper tantrum on the streets, and, turning cars over, bashing in windows. But wait. The recent actions taken down at Salem, the state police have been very happy. There's been no garbage left behind. There's been no cars destroyed. There's been no business fronts destroyed. There's been no medical calls from people getting the crap beat out of them. Makes you wonder. Oh yeah, the other thing our governor wants to do is she don't think anyone in the world should own a gun, except for those gentlemen who she keeps very close to her when she is walking in public, or when she is even in that big marble house. They're not far away. And I'm sorry, I use a gun. We protect our stuff. Yeah, I protect her. I protect him. And them other two over there. You know why? Because they tell me when there's a threat. Whether that threat be a person who shouldn't be here, or if that threat's a coyote or a cougar or a bear. To the best of my knowledge, we haven't had bear come through our farm, but I know where they are. They're within a mile. They've just don't come down this way. Cougar come through here, to the best of my knowledge, at least once every other year, sometimes more often. Coyotes are a big issue. What you going to fight a coyote off with? I've had them come around and try to get me when I was in the field before. I don't like it. The difference between a coyote and a wolf is it only takes one wolf. It takes more than one coyote, but they'll still kill you. So no, hey, we try to keep check on those things, but there's so many of them, it ain't funny. I don't need them in the barn chewing a calf out of the back end of a cow who's giving birth. That happened at the neighbors more than once. They go in the barn to find 2 dead cows one day and calves half eaten out of them, the backside of the cow eaten up. Our governor don't care. She don't apparently like cows either. I don't know what's wrong with them. I like them. Most of them got pretty good personalities. Most of them are a hell of a lot smarter than she is, too. All right, on that one, political crap is done. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment. Keep in mind, haters, remember, go hate somebody else. I don't need it. I'm not in the mood for it. So, like, comments, please. If you don't like what you just heard and you just got to say something, it's kind of like talking to critters. You can talk in the sweetest voice you have, and they'll think you're talking nicely, even though you're using every cuss word you know. So, word it politely. Because, hey, I know not everybody thinks the same. I know not everybody believes the same. I just know what the political crap is doing to our country, doing to our agriculture. It's just a bunch of BS. I already know 5 or 6 outfits that have, out of self-defense, moved out of state. They didn't have any choice. My thing is, where do you go? Because the political influence has gone to other states. They're not near as bad as it is here now, but, give them 5 or 10 years. It's disgusting to see what's happening. Anyway, hey, like I said, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Just make the comment respectful or it'll be gone, and so will you. Thanks, everybody.